Nityanam guys, it's Priscilla. Welcome back to the Kundalini Yogini. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to do so and hit that bell icon or you are going to miss all of my videos in the future as we discuss further conscious living in the modern world today. So today I am going to finally open up about the diet that I am currently following, and I haven't made a video about this actually ever, and I did touch, as most of you guys know, I did touch on the fact that I have been plant-based as a vegetarian for many years, but I am finally going to make a video about why I am a vegan and why I follow the vegan diet here in the United States. As always, these videos are really hard for me to try to fit into like less than 15-20 minutes because there's so much that I need to explain and feel like are my reasoning and my thought currents behind why I do what I do and why I follow this life choice. But I'm gonna try my best to summarize them, and just so you guys know, I am speaking from the perspective of a United States citizen, somebody who's currently residing in the US and who is a practicing Hindu, somebody who follows Sanatana Dharma, a lifestyle of non-violence. So from that perspective, I'm going to be sharing why it is I followed the vegan diet. So a little bit of background, I have been vegetarian for 4 years now, but before that I was the complete antithesis of a vegetarian or a vegan. I was the biggest carnivore on planet Earth and the worst, most unhealthy eater, and when I say that, I am not exaggerating. I lived on fast food, I lived on carbs, and I lived on meat. I ate 0 vegetables, 0 fruit in my diet. So trust me when I say I understand the other side. I have been there, and as probably most vegans or vegetarians will tell you, there was always a point where we said, there's no way I could go vegan. There's no way I could be vegetarian. So I get it. Like, we were all there. Trust me. But I'm just going to explain to you what were the reasons that pushed me over the edge, where I could not go back, where I got to a point where I definitely could not justify eating animal products in my diet. And okay, so now fast forward to this January, I moved back to the US, and I had been living in India for the last 2 years at my guru's adinam or ashram in South India. And I got back to the US and I knew right off the bat, like, there's no way I can't be vegan here because pretty much you cannot find cruelty-free animal products here. And 99% of the time, if you think you're getting cruelty-free, you are kidding yourself. And I did kid myself for some time. I'm not gonna lie, there was, in the beginning years, I was still eating cheese and milk and not really batting an eye because I just wasn't really thinking about it, to be honest. I was just unconscious of it. And the more that I learned, of course, about the animal industry, and what goes behind it, I knew that there is pretty much zero difference between eating meat and eating milk and cheese, and the fact that the animal is still dying and the animal is still getting hurt. So now I'll go to the primary reason why I decided to follow a vegan diet in the US, and that reason is because of my spirituality. As I mentioned, I am a practicing Hindu, and what that means is I follow the principles of Dharma, the Dharma chakra, of living a lifestyle of non-harm, non-violence to other living beings. And so from that context, I couldn't justify to myself any further of consuming dairy when I knew there was so much pain in it. I knew there was so much harm and violence behind that choice, that I didn't want to live with that anymore personally. I couldn't live with that and preach this lifestyle authentically when I was still partaking in those choices. So the next reason is kind of similarly tied to that, in the fact that the karma of it. I knew that I would be personally deciding that I wanted that karma of every single being that was being inflicted pain or death in the factory farming industry by my choices, and I didn't want that, and I still don't want that. I am not interested in incurring that type of karma, or even doing that to another being, like I said. And so yeah, animal rights obviously is a huge aspect for me. As somebody who loves all beings and really is connected to animals, always have been, it's something which hurts me to even think about and watch, and so I can't willingly, knowingly being a part of that industry, even if it's in a small way. You know, and I used to justify it for that reason because I thought, it's a small way, like I'm still doing my part, and that is true, I get it, I understand that perspective, but I'm just at a place where that's not something that I want to choose anymore. The next reason why I am practicing vegan in the US is actually probably my personal most favorite reason, and a reason that really convinced me to go vegetarian also, and that is environmental. A lot of people don't realize that why some people become vegetarian or vegan is not necessarily tied to animal rights. It's tied to the environment. And wow, as somebody who is an advocate for the environment, and my number one passion is protecting the environment and sustainability. If you guys follow me, you know that. I just can't consciously, again, justify not being a vegan because the amount of water consumption, land consumption, animals that are being killed for it, and the environmental damage from the methane and CO2 that the animals excrete is the number one, yes guys, number one leading cause of climate change and global warming is animal agriculture. And not just animal agriculture meat, animal agriculture dairy. Dairy is almost just as big, if not bigger, I think, than the big meat industry. And so the contribution to environmental damage that does is unprecedented. In my opinion, like if I'm gonna call myself an environmentalist, I could not eat animal products or dairy or meat because I think that is pure hypocrisy. Anybody who has even slightly researched climate change and the environment, or you are passionate about this planet and keeping it green, I very much urge you to look this up so that you understand that you taking shorter showers or recycling, it, for lack of a better word, means jack shit compared to you changing your diet. It doesn't do anything. The impact of that is so negligible compared to you just deciding even one day a week not to eat a hamburger, not to eat dairy products. It's that much of a carbon footprint that your diet has. So yes, that's pretty much for me one of the top driving factors why I'm vegan in the US. And a really, really great site to find out all of these facts and statistics from very reputable organizations. By the way, I'm not just preaching these facts as like something which I read in a random article. No, the World Health Organization and the United Nations themselves have listed that climate change, the number one factor is animal agriculture. So, and the number one cause of deforestation and the number one cause of clean water loss. So to me, that's just like horrifying. It's so sad to me that all of that is being wasted just so that we can feed first line food into a secondary animal, then kill that animal, then consume it. Like it's so backwards to me. And my very final reason that I'll touch on about why I am a practicing vegan is for personal health. Honestly, actually a few months ago, I saw the documentary What the Health for the first time. If you guys have not seen it, I highly, highly, highly recommend that documentary. It was also a pivotal factor in me saying like, no more excuses, I am not eating dairy, because man, the negative impact any animal products, especially dairy, cheese, milk, eggs, has on your body is so detrimental to your health in the long run and in the short term, but especially in the long run. Almost all chronic illnesses like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and even things like Alzheimer's and arthritis can be cured, yes, cured through a plant-based diet. They can be, one, completely prevented, and two, even reversed and cured through a plant-based diet. And this documentary proves that if you If you think that this is wacky what I'm saying, please go watch the documentary. The entire thing is made by doctors, all of them are MDs. There's about 20 or plus doctors that that are talking on this documentary, and they do studies on people where they reverse these illnesses just through changing them to a plant-based diet. It's really that simple sometimes. And so for me, the impacts on my personal health is also a huge factor. So whew, okay, I think I did a decent job at cramming all of those reasons in there. I hope this video helps give you guys a little insight on my personal decisions, my train of thinking of why I practice this diet in my life. And actually, it's really, I don't really like the word diet for veganism, because it is like your lifestyle, because it's based on your morals and values also, right? It's not just it's not to lose weight or anything like that. So I am a practicing vegan, and I'm feeling truly better than ever. I've also seen different impacts on my body very positively. My skin has been so much better now that I've cut animal products out. I'm having so much better digestion, zero upset stomach from anything that I eat. So man, I'm so happy. It's been now a solid 4 months of being fully vegan, and it's feeling so good. So thank you guys for following this journey, for your patience if you have been vegan yourself and wanting me to be. By the way, I would have done this actually much sooner if I was living in the US, but I've been like I said, I've been out of the US for 2 years, and I have another video where I explain why I ate dairy in India, where I was specifically. So I do want you guys to check that video out if you're curious, because I think it's an important thing to factor in and think about in understanding people's stories. So anyways, that's a part of my story that I'm still very proud of, and glad I made that decision. But I'm also super happy that I'm fully vegan now and feeling amazing about it, both morally, physically, and spiritually. So anyways, I'm going to be bringing you guys a lot more food videos, and what I eat in a day videos is coming very soon. They've been highly requested, so I am listening, and I'm going to be making them, I promise. Anyways, let me know your thoughts and comments down below, and make sure again to subscribe and hit that bell to see my further videos. Thank you guys. Blessings. Nityananda.